Alright, welcome back. Now that we have things back on track, we are at a round of 30, a 64 match between Az and lzgamer. So we are going to be going straight into that one now. And it is best of one still, as the best of threes did not start until round of 32. So we are going to have lzgamer spawning as the yellow Terran at the top left-hand corner. And we are going to have as the red Protoss down the bottom right-hand corner. So this is going to be a very strong matchup. Both these guys, no strangers to each other. I believe they're actually practice partners. As hailing from Brisbane, Australia, does play on the US server. I think he doesn't even play on the SEA server anymore. That's what's happened with a lot of the high-end SEA guys. They've completely moved off to the US for some better competition, as well as we do have EG lzgamer going for for the Terran side. So really, this map, like, they were bantering before in the chat about how LZ actually downvotes this map on the ladder, so he doesn't get much practice at it. Whereas I'm pretty sure Az plays every single map just because he wants to get exposure to it, which is probably the better idea. Otherwise, things like this could happen to you. It is best of one on this one, so to anyone just tuning in, this is the FXopen tournament. It has been a bit of a rocky start, but hopefully we'll get down to the nitty-gritty now, because it is becoming a little more frustrating than expected with like 300 something no-shows. Next time we're probably just going to be doing an invite-only kind of thing to make it more smooth. Trying to do the right thing by letting a lot of people join up. It just doesn't work well sometimes, unfortunately. So we both, Az is about to give a scout. He's going to see what LZ's doing. Now, when you play with someone so often, it sometimes turns into like a mind game war, because they know how you play, and you know how the other one person's plays, so you can try and mind game them to like, it's really a complicated matchup. To anyone just tuning in, this is actually an open tournament. It is not an Australian tournament. It was open to everyone on the NA server. I just happen to have an Aussie accent, but hey. So really, as going for your standard opening so far, we haven't seen... Whoa, there we go. We do have a second Rax coming out from lzgamer with a reactor down now as well. So we might be going for some Rax heavy kind of play, as his orbital command does just finish up in a normal amount of time. I want to see what Az does after this first Zealot. Like whether he goes for a robo build or a fast expand. He does queue up that SV. Wants to, before he does anything other than the first Stalker that normally comes out, he wants to get rid of that Scout, doesn't want to give away what he's doing to lzgamer. But hey. It's really... So from now on, for the rest of the day, we're actually going to be playing this all out. This is the only best of one round, and it's going to be best of 3 from here on in. I'm pretty sure we're going to be going through the entire tournament just to make things a little bit easier and get them over with, but we do have a very fast NG bay from LZ. Interesting. I'm not sure whether he's expecting some kind of cheese or something along those lines, but hey, we'll see soon. Both these players splitting up the watchtowers, Pro versus SCV, so they both will have a pretty good idea on what's going on, as we do have a lot of Marines pumping out of these racks here. And he's getting a quick +1 on those Marines, and he's... As Az pushes out here with one Stalker, one Zealot, he's going for a 1-gate expand build. Probably not the reaction LZ was expecting, considering he is getting quite a few units off these 2 racks. But if he does go for the mass Marine stim push, it really does hurt this kind of 1-gate expand build, because you just don't have anything to deal with the Marines, and they can kite Zealots all day long if they wanted to. So as that expansion gets to 50%, Az is just going to now start punking down a lot more units. There we go, he's dropped down 3 more gateways, so he's going to have 4 gateways in total. I'd really like to see a robotics facility sometime soon, just in case we do have cloaked Banshees coming along from LZ. But hey, that's what we see. More and more Marines, more Marines, and now some Marauders in the mix as well, as we do. Sim is about halfway researched. If we have a look at the supplies, we're at 34 versus 37, and we do have an expansion going down for LZ as well now, so at least we'll see something along the lines of coming along. But so far, nothing really out of the ordinary. Both players being pretty safe. Nice scan by LZ. Does see that expansion is up, and probes are already mining from it. So really, as soon as LZ realised... Hang on, why is he bringing his SCVs? Oh, okay. I think it's a little bit early considering that the command center is nowhere near done. No, it looks like he's going to be pushing out with these Marines. Like I was saying before, a lot of Marines with Stim is probably one of the best counters against this build. But we do have lots of sentries. 3 sentries. Orko have quite a bit of energy. So we will be able to throw down at least 3 or 4 force fields. That will really cut that Marine army in half. He does take out the probe on the Zeldaga towers. So Az will not know when this army is coming. But at least he will be poised. I guarantee you he'll be staring at this ramp intently while he's trying to do some of the macro. But hey, here we go. So we've got SCVs at the front. I think he wants to try and just give a buffer for these zealots. And there goes the force fields. Great force fields by Az. He's really just cut all of the Marines out the back. And one of the zealots does go down. That Stalker at the side is getting hurt though. More force fields going down. Traps in some of the units actually. Great response there by Az. I really think LZ doesn't have the Marine count to be able to deal with it as starts pushing out now. But no, he doesn't, so LZ's forced to pull back. Some great force fields there by Ez. But hey, putting his expansion down now, Az has got to feel pretty comfortable. He's at 36 probes to 18 SCVs, while LZ does have that second command center with the mules will be kicking in soon. He's just still really behind in this matchup. But hey. We're going for Colossus now from Az, seeing that there was a very Marine-heavy mix. If he gets 1 or 2 Colossi out, they would just melt. But hey, that's what happens. We do have the +1 armor coming out for LZ as well to help those Marines with their DPS. We're looking at 74, with their survivability, 74 supply to 45. So Az taking a commanding lead right now. I think it's only going to get further and further as they go along. So really just solid play by Az so far with that 1 gate expand. Probably didn't help LZ. Hang on. Probably didn't help LZ that like he lost a lot of Marines, and the long rush distance as well would have put a crimp on that timer, as Az would have had a lot more time to actually get a lot more units out. So that's what happens. Az is getting pretty fine here. I'd like to see a couple, like just 1 or 2 more pylons over here, just to see if any kind of drop comes down. But he is going to go grab that Forge 4 to start his upgrades of his own. A Colossus is halfway done, but really he's just so far behind his supply. 61 supply to 93. Look back, 52 probes to 29 SCVs. He does have the mules, but that's what's keeping him in the game at the moment. Unfortunately, he is going to go and grab that reactor on the starport. We're going to see some Vikings. Hopefully some Vikings to help deal with the Colossus. No, we're going to get some dropships first up, as we do have that observer sitting right out the front of the base. Sees there's like just pretty much 100% Marine army there. So Az is going to be feeling good about that, as he does get the Colossus range upgrade at the same time. And he's going to expand to a 3rd. So he doesn't want to give up this advantage, just wants to keep pumping out more units. He's at 52 probes to 34 SCVs. And LZ's still a little bit behind because those mules are on cooldown right now. But he goes plumping down more barracks. The dropships are coming out. Hopefully he gets a scan out to see that this Colossus is on the map now. In fact, I'm not sure if anyone saw it, but I actually saw a really cool bug that allows Colossus to swim in water and walk in space, which is pretty cool. Go check that out if you haven't seen it. It's obviously a bug and you can't use it in tournaments, but it's still pretty funny to see. But hey. So we do have that armory out now for LZ. He's getting many more Marines. Thor's coming out now as well to help deal with the Colossi, but the problem with that is like the Thors are really slow, and compared to the Colossi, they can just kite them all day because they have the longer range. A lot of people see Thors and go, "Oh my god, I need to get Immortals to deal with," but no, like probably the better transition is a lot of Colossi so you can outrange them. And like as I was saying, that Az has stopped a drop from lzgamer up here. But he's got another one down the bottom. Az has pulled a lot of probes getting out of the way. Nice split up attention, but oh my god, almost loses all those Marines to that, and the dropship does get away. So I wouldn't be surprised to see this dropship now come back to this 3rd base to try and do some more damage, as he's going to keep Az on his toes. We're at 50 probes to 43 SCVs, so LZ has now caught back up in the recon, in the resource war, but he's still at 101 supply to Az's 139, so he's still 40 supply down. He doesn't have any Vikings. He needs to get some Vikings to help deal with those Colossi. He definitely knows they're coming now, as he did see them when he did this drop earlier, and it looks like he's going to try and go round the back to that expansion. And it looks like Az has just got his stuff on patrol right now. No, he's just going to sit right in the middle. He's probably going to be doing a drop at both locations at once. As his main army is right in the middle. Oh my god, this could be devastating. Looks like he's going to try and do both. Units going down at both sides. Az has not noticed the one at his third yet. There we go. Pulling probes now as LZ does get his units up the top. There is a cannon there and more units warping in. LZ really needs to pull those back or he's going to lose a lot of them. And his units are up the top here. Az feeling confident he can throw away these units down the bottom, and the drop ship does get away again, but all the Marines did get roasted by those Colossi. So now if we have a quick look back, we're at 54 to 46. Lots of upgrades now coming for Az. We're at 150 supply for him versus 118. So LZ catching up slowly but surely in this entire game from that really rocky early start that he had. Which is good to see. We might be seeing a very long macro game from both players in this one. As it looks like Az he's going to start pushing out here. He does have 4 Colossi. They do have the range upgrade. He will be able to munch through these Thors, but really, there's only 2 Thors there. It's going to come down to army size. But no, Az pulls back. There are more dropships going down. Looks like we're going to see another drop at the back of Az's main. There is a cannon there to help stop anything like that happening. There's a scan going down. And oh no, Az just ran his units into that scan, so LZ should know that they're actually coming, but no, it looks like he's going to go for the drop anyway. Az pulling his units back, trying to let him land before he uses anything. And there we go, Colossus coming in. LZ forced to pull back yet again. Loses one of the dropships, but does get everything else away. It loses 4 Marines as well, so not what LZ wanted to happen right there. But that's alright. More and more Thors being pumped out now by LZ, and a DT Shrine is going down for Az as he's getting his 4th base as well. LZ only just now getting his 3rd. And we have a look at the supplies again. It's 137 supply to 172. Az will be maxed out very shortly. And we'll see what he wants to do with this. I'm pretty sure he just doesn't want to give away any kind of advantage that he has. He wants to get all his upgrades. And we are getting the strike cannon upgrade for the Thors. Interesting. He could be using those on those Colossi, which would be very devastating because they will kill them. Which is good to see because it is actually 500 damage over 6 seconds, and the Colossi really only have 350 health, so if he focuses them correctly, that could be very devastating. But looks like Az has annoyed lzgamer here by having that pylon to stop him doing anything about it. So we do have Vikings in the unit composition mix for LZ as well now, but hey, it's alright. And we do have, looks like Az is going to be pushing out as he sees LZ's army isn't as big as he expected. The strike cannon is not done yet. It's about 15 seconds away. If Az pushes now, he might catch LZ in a bit of a bad spot. And we do have a planetary fortress being morphed at the 3rd, as we do have a 4th command center here. Probably going to be dropped at this location. So then it's going to be a 4-on-4 base war. We do have 2 dropships still back here as Az's main force comes into the very middle of the map. LZ might not be prepared for this. There's so many units for Az, and here we go. The engagement comes. The stores, oh my god, they're stuck on a walking path. So many units being taken out. The stores being surrounded by all the zealots. And the Vikings come in now, but Blinkstalk is just completely mulched through them. And it looks like we might be seeing a GG from lzgamer, but he does have that planetary fortress. If he can repair it in time. No, he can't repair it in time. It will drop, so he's back down to 2 bases. Az still on 179 supply versus the 86 of lzgamer, and there's a GG call. Nicely done.